Hello everybody, Ian Robson here. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Ian. I made the coffee a little bit extra strong this morning, so I have to be careful. Anyways, I've been messing around a lot with the seasons mod lately. Actually, one thing I was kind of doing this week, or trying to figure out yesterday, I guess it was, is that with one of the scripts that you have for most maps that have extra fruits in them, like rye or milo or spelt, those types of things, you can actually add different food to your animals. If you want to add like corn, for example, to your cows as a grass supplement, you can do that. If you want to add like oats for the same thing, you can do that as well, which is kind of neat. So I was messing around with that yesterday, I believe, and it actually was kind of interesting to do. It wasn't actually difficult to do, but I ran into a weird issue where it seemed like some of the previous save files I had in that file, some of the files in the folder, I should say, actually, were conflicting with the change I was trying to make. Because I did it with another map, like it was like that. But with County Line, it was really strange. What happened was I had to like start a new map, or start a new save it, and then I had to like slowly move over file by file to see to the new folder to see what was causing the issue, and eventually I got it fixed. I did it originally, and then it didn't own one of the fields, and some of them weren't at the same level that I had them before, so it was kind of frustrating to have it like that. But I got it fixed eventually. So now, on the County Line, in the winter, I can feed my cows corn, or throughout the year for that matter also. So that's one of the nice things about it. So that's one of the changes I made recently to County Line, and I think it's kind of a neat little change actually, because it makes sense. I was talking to Mitch about it, and he's the one who actually kind of tipped me off about it, and he said, well, this is what I do with my map. I'm like, you can do that? Like, it's such a simple change. Like, it's such a small little change that makes a big difference. So you can get your cows up to peak productivity in the winter using corn as opposed to grass, because of course you can't feed grass to your cows in the winter with the seasons mod. Now, even without the seasons mod, it's a nice little change, so I think it's kind of neat. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because often people, with the seasons mod, you can bale grass, but the bales only last for 2 days as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong on this though, by the way. So if you bale grass, they only last usually for about 2 days with the seasons mod, and then they'll rot and disappear as far as I understand. Again, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. But with corn, you can store it in your silo, no problem. So that's one of the nice things about it. So you can have that for the winter, and then you don't have any problems with feeding your cows at all, so which is kind of neat. What was the other change I was looking at? There was the corn, and what was the other thing? I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, it was the corn thing, which I spent a lot of time messing around with that, honestly, trying to figure out what was what and how it needed to be changed. It's a really simple change, but if the map already has the specific script, it's the additional fruit script. If it has that, then it's okay. But if it doesn't have that, then it makes a big difference. And it has to be version 1.08 of the additional fruit script. So anyways, I don't think I'm going to make a tutorial about it, because most likely it'll be different for different maps. So like for my map, the one I did, it took me like, a few days, not a few days, but it took me like maybe an hour to try and do like process of elimination, figuring out what was the one that was causing the issue and what one wasn't causing the issue. But just on my specific map. I did the same thing on Nagsea Valley, it took me like 2 minutes to do. So it really depends on the map itself. So it's not a difficult thing, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to test it out with some other maps to see how difficult it is. But with my version of County Line, it was a bit of a pain, but eventually I got it working. So I think it was just to do with my save, what I had there before, and it might have been because I had used Growth Manager a lot. So it might have been because I had Growth Manager and that was messing it up. I don't know, something like that. So anyways, that was one of the things I was messing around with. Also, speaking of Nagsea Valley, Bob actually added the same thing. He had put corn as a feed you can give to your cows in the winter. You can give them to all year long, but in the winter just is where it makes the most sense. So that's one of the nice things about it. So it kind of, for me at least, it encourages me to plant more corn, because I often don't plant corn a lot because it's not really necessary. I don't know. I just don't do it very often, but now I may have a better reason to do it. Oh, apparently you can see my fan back there. right there. That's my window fan, by the way, in case you're ever wondering. Oh goodness. What else is new, interesting in the world? I've been doing a little bit. I was doing a little editing this morning. I was editing some fishing videos, which is always fun. I was actually Bass Opener that I was editing, and that was how long ago? That was like a month ago. I only post like once a week on my fishing channel, so I don't need to edit that often. But if you're interested, I'll put a link in the top right hand corner. For my fishing channel if you're interested. If not, don't worry about it. It's what I do when I'm not video gaming or not gaming, basically, so I go fishing. Speaking of fishing, I went fishing yesterday after work, which is kind of weird because I was in my work clothes, which was like business casual is the dress is the dress code for work sort of thing. So I'm wearing like nice pants and a nice shirt, and then I went fishing after, so I like changed into some shorts and a t-shirt, but then you have to put your nice clothes somewhere, so it was really strange. But the funny thing was, so I was wearing like, basically I was wearing like a shirt like this, because I have like 8 or 10 of these shirts when I worked in Borden, a military camp, for those who don't know what that is. And I was wearing some like regular just brown shorts sort of thing, and but really nice like shoes, because I couldn't bring an extra pair of shoes in my bag. I just didn't have the space. So it looked really fun, really funky. Like my wife met me after work, after I finished fishing, and she was like, "You look ridiculous." So I was like, I don't care. I was fishing. I was having fun. But if you ever go fishing with an ultralight rod and you catch like bigger fish like bass or a decent sized bass or a nice sized smallmouth, if they fight so hard on an ultralight, it's a lot of fun. A super amount of fun. So one of these days I might try and catch a carp on an ultralight, but I think that might be, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm that skilled yet. So there's something else related to farm sim. What was I doing? I don't know. Apparently, actually someone left a comment the other day about County Line. Apparently there is a forestry area in County Line in the northeast corner, I think they said. Northeast or north, I think it was the northeast corner. So I have to check that out next winter in the game, so to see what's that all about, because I mentioned that there wasn't any forestry area, but apparently there is. It's just really small and really remote on the map, so I'll have to take a look at that as well. But yeah, it's kind of neat. Nagsea Valley has been updated. There's a couple fixes that were done. So we have a new version this week, but we're not starting from fresh. We're just not starting fresh. We are just updating the save, basically. So nothing too crazy there. And I did find an interesting mod the other day, which was a Meridian tender wagon, I guess. So it's like an overloader for all intents and purposes, but it's intended for seeds and fertilizer and stuff like that. So I picked that up on American Eagle Modding. Kind of neat little mod. Nothing too crazy. It actually works as an overloader, so you could works as an overloader, so you can actually stick it on a truck with a gooseneck style trailer. So it's kind of neat. And Donald put me on to a really nice F450. I don't know where, I think it came from modhub.us, like I mentioned in the episode. It's pretty nice, actually. It needs a little bit of work in some areas, but one of the nicer, bigger Ford trucks that I've seen. So one of the nice things about that. So yeah, a couple of neat little things. What else did I started making fertilizer finally in County Line, which is kind of nice. It's a bit interesting to do. I probably should have put, in reality, I should have put the fertilizer factory closer to the cows. Probably would have made more sense, I think, actually. But there wasn't a lot of space for placeables there, I think. I should double check that, actually, thinking about it. Could always relocate the factory, but maybe not. Probably not. So now the next thing we need to do is start making seeds for ourselves, which is why I got the Meridian trailer, so we can actually kind of like support, or say fill, our seeders and fertilizer spreaders. So it's kind of neat. Lots of little things you can do. And also I need to find some decent placeables for wood related things, like wood chips or planks and stuff like that, and I'll have to try some of those on County Line this winter as well, because I do have cattle now too, I suppose, so it's not going to be the end of the world. But I just felt like there was nothing to do in the winter, because I'm not a big fan of forestry, which is why I'm not like super jazzed about it. But and I did actually randomly, I did find a snowplow, like a snowplow you would see in Canada, like with a big blade in the front and like a wing blade too, which is kind of funny. So I downloaded that the other day. Yeah, I downloaded that. I'll have to try it out in the game to see if it works well. I'm sure it won't work as well as in my mind it will, but I'll have to try it out in the winter and see what it's like. Do a little bit of municipal work and clean the roads up. Although, of course, in the game it doesn't make a difference on the main roads because they don't have snow on them anyways, but these side roads, the dirt roads, are the ones that have all the snow on them. So, anyways. Anyhow, that'll be it for me for today, folks. I could ramble on for ages as I can. That's how you can record a 30-minute episode, talking to yourself. Anyways, my name is Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more Coffee with Iain. Enjoy the coffee, folks. It's so good.